All right, well, I'd like to say a few words. First of all, I would like to really welcome all of you to the wedding. And I want to acknowledge all of you because nobody lives here, okay? Everybody went through some effort, some expense, some headaches probably to come here today. And we appreciate, and John and Garrett especially appreciate the effort that all of you have taken. And of course, some of you went to more effort than others. And we have a lot of people that came here from way out of town, from the East Coast, from obviously Philadelphia, Garrett's hometown. And as you can see, there are too many to acknowledge individually. But and not only Philadelphia, other places on the East Coast, and even outside of the country, Canada, Mexico. We really appreciate the effort you've all taken. And lastly, a lot of you have young children, even as young as 2 or 3 weeks old. And we know what a challenge that can be to come to something like this with young children. And so to all of the above, Garrett and Gianna and my wife and I, thank you so much for coming. Let me say a little, just a quick thing about the wedding itself. A lot of people have been telling me, you know, what a lovely wedding, and I need to let you know that I really had nothing to do with it. Basically, Gianna and Garrett planned everything, every detail. And they did a phenomenal job. I actually tried to give them a couple of inputs. They were ignored, very politely ignored, but ignored nevertheless. I basically have spent the last 9 months watching The Godfather 1 over and over again. Watching Marlon Brando as Don Vito Corleone to see how one behaves on the day of his Sicilian daughter's wedding. But I promise you I won't do any impersonations right now, but later tonight, who knows, after a little more wine, I would like to try to say a few words seriously, and you probably have figured out by now that it's not something I do very often. But I'll probably end up crying and all that, but just yank me off of here if it gets too ugly. But I have 2 daughters, Gianna and Camille. And those of you that know me know that, that I love them dearly, that they've taught me how richly rewarding it is to be a parent. They've brought nothing but, well, almost nothing but joy to my let's talk about Gianna, of course. Camille, your day will come, hopefully, someday soon. Okay. Gianna, I held Gianna in my arms when she was about 1 minute old. She stared at me with this intensity for the longest time, and it touched me deeply, and it was also kind of an indicator of what was to come. Those of you from our side of the family that remember Gianna as a little girl probably remember her as kind of a high-energy live wire. She is the kind of girl who threw herself into everything 150%, whether it was, you know, her schoolwork or her sports, her projects, her art, her neighborhood newspaper, her birthday parties, holidays, and most especially her music. And now look at her. She's all grown up. And she has a career, and she lives in the city, and she has a good life. And it's very touching for me to see her all grown up like this. And when you look at Gianna now as an adult, you sometimes see a little bit of Elaine in her, and sometimes you might see a little bit of me in her. But like most of us, she is her own unique person. Very unique and special person. And if you were to characterize Gianna, I think you would, a couple things that you would immediately say that characterize her is she is a bit of a perfectionist. She likes things done the right way. She also is somebody who, I guess a good way to say it is she loves quality. Okay, she is not a person to settle for second best. And so, of course, a couple years ago, it came as no surprise when this quality-loving perfectionist fell in love with a pretty high-quality guy who is about as close to perfect as you can get. I get asked, for the last 9 months, I've been asked the same question by all of my friends over and over again. What do you think about the guy? Okay, and it's pretty much my answer has come down to what's not to like. And those of you that haven't met Garrett before, you got a taste of what he's made of tonight. Obviously, handsome, fit, athletic, healthy, all of that. There's things we've gotten to know about him over the last couple of years. He's smart. He's wise beyond his years. He's fun. He's very level-headed, easygoing. He's respectful. He loves his parents dearly. He's kind. He's generous to everyone. And let me tell you something. He likes food almost as much as I do. Especially pork products. If Garrett could have his perfect day, it would include, among other things, 3 pork products, right? And I will tell you, I literally, I think it was Easter, I was cooking, I cook a lot, I was cooking a beautiful pork rib roast. And I brought him into the kitchen. I opened the oven door and he looked at it, and I swear his eyes welled up with emotion about the beauty of this. So, needless to say, we get along just fine. Jonna, her entire life, ever since she learned how to write, she has been generous with words, and especially with words. When she writes a note, a personal note, a thank you note, or a birthday card, it's not, like I do, love Rex. She writes always, she fills up 2 pages of a card with feelings from the heart. And she wrote a note to us yesterday commemorating the day before her wedding. And she doesn't know I'm going to do this, but I'm going to quote from what she wrote. She wrote something that touched me very much. She wrote, "Thank you for instilling in me the confidence to not settle for anything less than true love." And if you spend any time with these two, they define true love. I mean, you look at the way they treat each other and look at each other, talk to each other, kiss each other. It's just a beautiful thing. And this, more than everything else that I've said tonight, means the most to me. And so with that, let's raise our glasses. And I would like to say, here's to the beauty of how you two love each other. And may your love continue to grow deeper and stronger for many years to come. Hear, hear. Thank you. Speaking of pork, it's coming right up.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we're going to have another toast.